To work along with this lesson, go to the work files and open the project 7B. In the last lesson, we set clip markers in the viewer. Let's see how they work in the timeline. From the browser, drag the Karate Markers parent clip into the timeline. As you can see, the markers are visible on the timeline clip, and you can add more if you like by first selecting the clip, positioning the playhead, and hitting the M key. But markers in the timeline behave slightly differently than they do in the viewer scrubber bar. For example, you can't command drag a clip marker in the timeline to move it, nor can you command double-click it to open its Edit Marker dialog. You have to select the clip, position the playhead over the clip marker, and hit the M key again to open it. Selecting the clip is very important when dealing with clip markers in the timeline. Let's see what happens when we hit the M key with nothing selected. See it? Final Cut added a marker not in the clip, but in the timeline ruler. It's a sequence marker. So what's the difference between a clip marker and a sequence marker? Clip markers are contained by a clip, and they move if the clip is moved, while sequence markers stay put in the timeline ruler, which makes them very useful when working with multiple tracks. You place sequence markers the same way you do clip markers. Just make sure the clip beneath the playhead is not selected, position the playhead, and hit the M key. Hit Shift right arrow to advance a second, and this time hit the accent grav key, the one just below the escape key. This key is an important one for marker shortcuts. In the previous lesson, we moved a marker by placing the playhead to the right of it and hitting Shift grav. You can also extend a marker's duration by placing the playhead to the right and hitting Option grav. Click in the middle of the marked duration. Similar to clip markers in the viewer window, sequence markers are displayed as an overlay in the canvas window. A marker with an extended duration shows this overlay on all marked frames, not just the start frame. If you're in the marked region and unable to see the overlay, click this button in the canvas and make sure Show Overlays is checked. You can change duration by repositioning the playhead and hitting Option grav again, or by opening the Edit Marker dialog and entering a new value in the duration field. You can extend the duration of clip markers as well. Just select the clip, position the playhead anywhere to the right of the clip marker, and hit Option grav. Let's open the sequence Fight version 1. I've added a few markers to this sequence. Now, just as a list of clip markers was available for navigation by control-clicking on the viewer timecode window, a list of sequence markers is found by right-clicking the canvas timecode window. The timeline timecode window, or the timeline ruler. An additional menu with clip markers can be displayed by control-clicking the timeline clip. The next and previous marker shortcuts jump between sequence markers if nothing is selected, and between both kinds of markers if a clip with markers is selected and beneath the playhead. Those shortcuts again are Shift-M for next marker, or Shift-down arrow, and Option-M for previous marker, or Shift-up arrow. As you can see, I've added comments with my sequence markers, and in a long sequence, you can use the Find command to navigate to markers using search terms. The Find command works differently in the timeline than it does in the browser, where it searches the clip properties columns. So we have to make sure the timeline is selected to search marker content. Go to the beginning of the sequence, hit Command F for the Find dialog, and enter the abbreviation for sound effects, SFX. Then hit Find. As you can see, it jumps to the marker that says SFX throughout. I know I have another sound note, so hit Command F, leave the search term the same, and hit Find. It jumps to the marker SFX Crash here. Now, just so you're aware of this, click to the right of the final marker. Hit Command F again, and hit Find. The playhead doesn't move, but we've just seen 2 instances of the term we're searching for. Why won't the Find command work anymore? Final Cut only searches forward of the playhead position, so remember to begin any search at the beginning of your sequence. Remember the Mark Clip command? Position your playhead in the middle of the 3rd clip, and hit X to mark a sequence in and out over the clip. Well, the same can be done with markers. First hit Option X to clear the sequence in and out. Without moving the playhead, notice the markers on either side. This time, go to Mark, Mark to Markers, or use the shortcut Control-A, and you have sequence in and out points set on the markers. Say you wanted to ripple delete this section, but were concerned that it would throw your sequence markers downstream out of sync. Not to worry. Hit Shift-Delete. The markers ripple with the rest of the sequence. Let's see that again. This is a feature you generally want to leave on, but if you need to disable it, go to Sequence, Ripple Sequence Markers, and uncheck it. Or, click the leftmost button in the timeline button bar. Now that we understand the difference between clip and sequence markers and how to use them, in the next lesson we'll put them to use in a real-world task.